So, welcome and thank you for your time today. So, for us, 3D Biofiber is an example where Scispot is helping biomanufacturing and bioproduction companies to scale up, to manage their inventory better, to keep track of all the product catalogs that you are developing. And also, I want to acknowledge the fantastic job you have done so far by scaling up collagen production at commercial level. Kudos to you guys. So today we are more interested to learn about your workflow, how Scispot has helped you to improve your biofiber production and management, and a little bit of highlight about your future plans or projects. So we can kick things off with a quick introduction. I would love to hear about you, your role in 3D Biofiber, and the current projects that you are currently working with.
Sure. So my name's Dana Bhattacharya. I'm the Director of Operations at 3D BioFiber. So just to give you a 30,000-foot overview of who we are at 3D BioFiber. So at the heart, we are a manufacturing organization. We specialize in collagen, but we essentially have a patented dry spinning platform that allows for us to make physiologically relevant fibers of any spinnable biopolymers. To date, we've spun anything from collagen to spider silk to chitosan or dextran. My role at the company is more as the technical lead. As in terms of background, I come from a regulated industry, so I was in drug manufacturing before, and being a nascent company, the way that Scispot has really helped us is essentially just having all of the information in one place. So inventory management or product management or even like process management was a lot more manual before Scispot, and I think that's the reality for a lot of startups. We used to collaborate on OneDrive, and we still do, but Scispot has most definitely helped us combine our information in a way that it's a lot more easier to go from this obscure knowledge that we've gained from one set of experiments to a repeatability of the work. So yeah, that's been really helpful in having Scispot as an ELN platform that we've been using, and I believe we've been using Scispot for just under 2 years now. So essentially, Scispot, you have seen us grow as a company as well. So we appreciate the collaboration. Something that I think we will continue to work with you in the future is more so really because we're so much more hands-on in your system. I think we're a good use case for a lot of the bugs that may be in our system as well as in Scispot system. So essentially, I think it's been a really collaborative environment for us to kind of move things forward for both companies. We probably will continue to collaborate on more workflow automation. So an example of that would be we're now going towards an ISO 9001 certification. So that really helps to have a platform that is CFR 1121 compliant. And I know you have that in the background. So that would be a conversation to have, because I know we don't have that package triggered in our subscription yet. The other part that I also quite like is that while you have a whole bunch of options, you are able to start with something pretty basic and then build up your platform as needed. And again, we've done that. Something that we've talked about is like the things like AI integration and all of those that we didn't have before. And what I really like about Scispot is also just the third-party integrations that you have. That just makes it easy for it to be seamlessly integrated into an existing system, which obviously is always a big energy barrier if you have to completely start everything from scratch.
That's awesome, Dana. And obviously, that was a great opportunity for us to see you grow also. And this is what Scispot plays an important role. We have seen like people start from more customizable, more flexible workflow. And eventually, as you grow up, you need to put some stringent process, more compliance to it. So we are happy to help you as you are growing further. So over to you, Lauren. Would love to know about your role at 3D BioFiber and your so far experience, how we have helped you improve your efficiency in the production and inventory management.
Yeah, of course. Again, my name's Lauren. I'm one of the research scientists at 3D BioFiber, so I'm a little bit more hands-on, mix in the lab and obviously in the office too, working on some of that. I was involved or with the company when we brought on Scispot, and the part of the transition going from, obviously beforehand we relied solely on paper notebooks and everybody else, we all had our own notebooks, so it was definitely a process in terms of managing experiments and projects that were coming our way, and kind of struggling with keeping it all in one spot. And like Dana said, we would use OneDrive, but things can tend to get a little bit messy in OneDrive sometimes, so it's hard to have all the information that you need in one spot. So Scispot was definitely a huge advantage or plus when we started bringing that on, and where we could have all of our experiments kind of grouped together and in the specific spots, and it was much better in terms of traceability and being able to track what we did and being able to repeat what we did. And Pooja, again, you've been with us since the start too, and the help that you guys have offered to us in terms of transitioning from a purely paper notebook system into an electronic system. You guys were just extremely helpful in terms of guiding us along the way, and slowly we started baby steps in terms of transferring all of our information over, and then when it's starting fresh with our experiments and using your system, you guys were very helpful to show us the way and show us how Scispot can be used, but also being very amenable to some of the processes that we had and requests that we had in terms of, okay, well, can your system do this and can your system do that, and kind of adjusting it to almost fit our needs, which was definitely a huge help for us, because again, Dana kind of mentioned that, but some other systems, they're very rigid in terms of the steps that you have to follow, and if you go straight into ISO compliance, you're really locked in terms of what you can and can't do, whereas this was a perfect transition into going from a system where we had never really tracked anything before to all of a sudden, okay, we can track things now, and we can have better processes, and we can have more formal processes, and taking protocols and procedural documents and getting into that mindset of having those better documents and design controls, process controls, manufacturing controls, all that type of stuff. And really shifting us over the last 2 years, thinking about where we started and still the mindset, even when we started with you guys in Scispot, and thinking about where we are now in terms of how we think about processes and how we track our processes is just crazy different in a good way. And you guys have been extremely helpful in terms of, helping us transition into kind of where we are now and how we're able to track what we are now. We wouldn't be where we are today without your help.
Thank you so much. And we are also glad that we were able to add some values and improve your entire workflow. That's what we want to achieve with all of our customers. We should help you improve your efficiency. Your workflow should be more enhanced as we are working with you. Thank you so much. And any last minute thoughts or advice for any teams who want to opt for Scispot or considering Scispot currently?
Yeah, I think one of the things that for anybody who comes from like a regulated industry or even doesn't, quality just sounds like a big buzzword. Just more so think of it in terms of like baby steps. You wouldn't want to go into an ISO system, just head on. Scispot is like a really nice platform where you're able to test out the waters, test out the facilities that it offers, what are the gaps in your system. So really a nice platform to kind of try out, particularly for those who are starting out more so from like a very academic environment into building a team. It's been helpful for like a mindset change. So we have had a great experience with Scispot, and I think anybody who's considering it definitely take Scispot up on it. You're also pretty affordable as it comes to other ELNs, so that's been a big plus as well. So it's well worth the investment, both in terms of time and money.
I would say from my side of things, definitely coming from probably more the academic background, whereas Dana would have come from, you've seen and been very much involved in quality before in your past roles, Dana, whereas not so much for me. So definitely for myself, and I know my colleagues are the same, where none of us really came from a quality background and didn't know what that looked like. So again, that transition from being able to take those baby steps and learning kind of from, a little bit slower what quality really means and the types of things you have to track. Because I'll admit, definitely, I was probably a little naive at first when, we're going from a paper notebook and then we're starting to talk about quality and thinking, oh, of course we can just jump right into an ISO certification, and that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, it's a huge ocean.
Yeah, exactly. So Scispot definitely was extremely helpful in terms of getting everybody well versed in terms of what it means to be certified in those types of quality domains, and slowly allowing us to transition all of our systems and our lab work and the projects that we're doing over, and kind of take it at our own pace, really, because I guess you could go as quickly or as slowly as you wanted in terms of transitioning over. But yeah, from my perspective as somebody who hasn't been involved in quality before, you guys were very helpful in order to do kind of introduce us to it, and your system was very amenable to that.
That's amazing. We can wrap it up, and thank you for your time today, and I'm looking forward to continue this support and see where you will be emerging in the future plans. So thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you. Bye.